Very good evening and welcome to this beautiful evening. Today we have two teams speaking their point of view on competencies. We all know there are two set of competencies, functional, what we call as technical competencies, and another behavioral competency. Before I put up questions to both the teams, let me put forth how this will work out. There are few questions which I will be putting to both the teams and we will be taking their point of view. And this will be a tug of war which I could envisage. We will have this consolidated at the finals. So, are we ready?
Yes.
Great. So, first and foremost, to the leader of functional competency, Nagesh Upadhyay. What is your take on functional competency and how important are they in our professional life?
Okay. Thank you, Anandji. Before I discuss on the take on this functional technical competencies, I would like to mention that I am strongly convinced that this functional and technical competencies are very fundamental and backbone for any employee or any person. Why it is important, why it is backbone, that it is taking it to them to a very higher level in the organization. So that way we can say that it is a fundamental. Now at ABG level, if we talk about the ABG level, even at ABG level, we have very strong framework on the functional and technical competencies. We can say that 152 functional competencies they are defined. Then 25 numbers, they have defined the developmental guides. So that itself shows that how strong our fundamentals, our framework for this functional competency is. Then we are talking about that if we talk about the basic competency, what is the competency? Knowledge, skill and the aptitude. So if we talk about these three things, this is very fundamental things which is required for the technical. If we talk about the technical functional skill, I'll like to give an example here that many organizations, very good organizations, are using this functional and technical competencies. They are getting developed for their employees, and they are developing. After developing these skills, these competencies, they are developing the leaders out of that. 10 to 12 years, they are putting their employees in different functions to get developed those competencies, functional competencies. That way, over a period of 10 to 15 years, they are developing top leaders in their organizations. Similar way, at ABG, if we talk about it as 2 by 2 by 2 concept, a very strong concept to develop the functional and technical competencies among our leaders who are the really talent for the group, and that way we are also at ABG developing the leaders through this 2 by 2 concept. Then if we take the example of outside world like IT industries, here you can see that technical competency is taking the lead. Then if we take the example of like a newly developed field, that is data analytics and your digitalization. This is again going to change the whole world, and that is nothing but a technical and functional competency. So this is the importance of technical and functional competency. Thank you.
Very well said, Nageshji, and I really appreciate the way you have done your homework on this subject. Moving on to the next team leader, Sanjeev Trehanji. I put up the question to you, what is the importance of behavioral competency and how do you see that in our professional life?
Thanks, Anandji. Thanks, Nageshji, for putting forward your point of view on technical competencies. But I have a slight difference of opinion on your wordings like technical competencies are superior. I have a firm belief the behavioral competencies, every business, all the businesses, they're all related to the people. And behavioral competencies are about the managing the people only. So how can a business can survive without managing your people? How a leader can survive, how a business can survive without learning the business acumen? How the people and business can survive or progress without communicating effectively with each other. So I agree with your point. Up to the certain level, functional competencies are better, but as we grow in the organization, all it requires behavioral competencies put a upper hand in comparison to the functional competencies. In our ABG framework, we have a certain set of behavioral competencies, and all the managers has to demonstrate the behavioral competencies depending upon their nature of job. To support my statement, let's have some example. Suppose if a person leading a business, it depends how he performs, depends upon his vision, strategy and business acumen. How he coordinate with his people, how he lead his people depends upon how he is collaborating with his people, is developing, how he develops his people and how he develops himself also. The same thing about the performance, how he performs, that depends upon the communication, how effectively he is communicating. If he communicate to influence the people, then only the business can survive. And this is the core competencies for a leader to acquire. And the last, we can recall a movie called Manji. This is a real example of behavioral competencies where the person do not have the functional skill, but with his commitment, he created a path from the mountain. So that is a real example. So I strongly believe the behavioral competencies are much better path and much better existence than the functional competencies. Thank you.
Very nicely explained, Sanjeev ji. And I really appreciate the complete competency framework what we have explained. And connecting that behavioral framework of Maji with Maji movie was really thought-provoking. Now, common questions to your team. We say that leaders are not born, but leadership can be learned. What is your take on behavioral competency? Can that be learned?
From our side, Mr. Gyan Singh will take over this question from your side. Please.
I agree, sir. We can develop the competencies, and it is very difficult to develop the behavioral competency because these competences are we are developing these competences from our birth. Every work and competency requirement is depend on the work relation ratio, that is 75 and 25. If I am a supervisor, then I should have a knowledge about 75% technical and 25% behavior. And if I am a manager, then it should be 75% technical behavior and 25% technical knowledge. It is very important. And there is some example for these behavioral competencies. So, I mean, a person like a senior person in an organization, he manages the doctors, engineers, advocates by his behavioral competencies. And he may be or not may be, he has a exact knowledge or perfect knowledge about all these fields, but he manages properly and manage all the people equally and achieve their organization's goal. So behavioral competency is very good, and behavioral competency is very important to grow up. And if we develop the behavioral competency, definitely we grow ourselves and our organization. Thank you, sir.
Very well said, Gyan. And I really appreciate the way you have explained the 75-25 principle. As a supervisor, 75% functional and 25% behavioral. And as one moves in the hierarchy, 25 becomes functional and 75 becomes a behavioral. What a good concept to understand more. Now I put up the same question to functional team. Nagesh ji, when we talk about leader is not born but leadership could be learned. How is functional competency on the learnability?
Member Mr. Kunal Kant, he can take this question.
Okay, sir. Before coming back to the question, let me just put a level ground about the professional competency and behavioral competency. Right? As the competencies have been given weight by Mr. Gyan, like 75% technical and 25% professional, behavioral is required at the beginning, and the situation reverse as we move up. So, what I think that if you are having like 75% behavioral competency and 25% technical competency, right? With the skill not enough to catch a rat, you are planning to catch an elephant. Is it not possible, right? Nobody cares what is your behavioral aspect, how do you behave, how you communicate with others, what is your personal values, unless and until you have your functional capabilities at the right place, right? If an organization is going to hire some person, the first and the foremost thing that organization will recognize in that person is whether he is functionally or technically sound or capable or not, right? If you are not technically or functionally sound, then you literally don't exist for them. Nobody will care about what your behavioral aspect is, whether you have very good values and all. So, I will emphasize my statement more and more on the functional side, because what I think, and as said by Nagesh sir also, that functional capability is the backbone of every process, organization, or any business which is going on right now, right? Without functional capabilities, you cannot exist. You have to keep on continuously adopting the different changes that are regularly happening in the environment and your surroundings, and you have to adopt accordingly so that you will be at par with the market. Otherwise, whatever the skills and the procedures that we possess right now will get obsolete in future, right? And now coming to the question that capabilities are not learned, but they are developed over a period of time. So I guess I will say that this statement is quite apt. With an example, or we can set it like this: when we join any organization, we join it at a very basic level, where we have to just have a basic understanding of what is the process, and we have someone to lean upon it that who can supervise us in performing that task and all. After the passage of time, we advance to intermediate level, where we have some holistic approach about the 2 or 3 different processes, and we can say that we will perform that task efficiently. But at that stage also, we need some angle for supervision. And after that stage, when we cross this stage, when we enter into advanced or expert stage, what is needed is in-depth knowledge, right? This is the stage where I can say that behavioral will play some part to manage things, but not in comparison to the functional competency. Behavioral is like negligible or nil, right? It is like an ancillary services to the functional capability that will help you to help or assist in proper functioning of the whatever the process is going on, right? So this is how we can develop our leadership. How we can develop the functional capabilities, and not only developing the capabilities is important, but as we know that current scenario, the market is very volatile, and the situation like COVID has made it even worse, and now even every organization is looking for some alternative to change their way of working. Like they are depending more and more upon digitalization, and more AIs are coming into. And if we are not going to change ourselves accordingly, then we will be at no place in the market, and we will get obsolete. So this is my take, and this is to conclude. I can say one example also. Like there was a movie of Raj Babbar, I guess. So in that movie, what happened? Machine got breakdown. So they called a mechanic to repair that machine. And after some time, the mechanic, what he did was just put a nail through a hammer in that machine, and that breakdown got rectified. Then the supervisor who was standing there, he asked for what is your service charges and what is the cost, right? So he said 1,000 rupees. So at that time, the behavioral competency of supervisor got kicked into him and said, oh, just for a simple task you are charging 1,000 rupees, what is this? Have some integrity, man. Then that person, and when the supervisor said that have some integrity, then the functional capability of that mechanic got kicked in, and he said like, okay, I am charging 1 rupee for hammering it, but I am charging 999 for knowing the place where to hammer that nail. So this is like thing ki functional capability is more important than behavioral, no matter what. They say ki behavioral is required to manage this and that, and I don't feel like it. Unless and until you have the proper subject matter knowledge and every critical thinking, analysis thinking things with your functional capability, you are not going anywhere.
Very well said, Kunal. And I could feel the passion when you were explaining about functional competency. And I really admire the way you have set in that example of Raj Babbar movie. The next question again I put Nagesh ji for your team. How important is functional competency in one's life? And what needs a person to be done to get it more sharper in his personality? You can put forth to your team and anybody can answer.
From our side, Mr. Ramesh will take this question.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you for such a wonderful question. As we know, competency is a mixture of skill and knowledge. And these skills and knowledge, we take these skills and knowledge from the work to our home also. And it is living with our personality and our personal life. So, at workplace, we solve the problems. We sort out many issues. We are working for the innovations and for the improvements. So, these way we, in our personal life and in our personality, also improves and innovates in our life also. I will give you one example. It is my personal experience. I was traveling with my colleague who is automobile engineer, and the bus was breakdown in the way, and at that time there is no any provision for the mechanic or any other kind of things. Driver raised the hands that this bus cannot move. So this guy come forward to help us. He repaired that bus within 10 to 15 minutes, and we safely moved towards our home. So these functional competencies are also important in our personal life and in our personal life.
Very good, Natu. I really admire the example, especially what you gave. And it was worth understanding how focused you are on the functional competency even you are in day-to-day life. Moving on to Sanjeev ji's team. The same question to your team. How important is behavioral competency in personal life?
Thanks, Anand. Thanks, Nakul. You have very well put your statement. From our side, Mr. Ram Mishra will counter your statement.
Well, as Mr. Nakum said that functional skill plays a role in personal life, I agree with you, but my friend, we need to understand that behavioral skill plays more important role in each and every aspect of our personal life. Whether it is good communication or it is emotional maturity, whether it is desire to get result or it is teamwork. All these behavioral skills plays very important role in our personal life. With good communication, we earn a privilege of increased community involvement. It helps us to influence and involve people more. It helps us to resolve the conflicts back at our home or society using dialogues, discussion or negotiation emotionally or psychologically. I would like to put an example here right now. Back in my village, there was a very old land disputes with two families. They were at the age to file a civil case against each other, but luckily, their family had one member who had just arrived from the abroad to resolve, to finally help them. And however, he convinced and managed anyway to allow them, bring them on the same table to discuss. Both families sat together, they had a dialogue between them. Trust me, that was the first time they were communicating to each other. Prior to that, they were only fighting to themselves. So they discussed each and every way how to resolve this issue, and luckily they found a solution. And this is how a behavioral skill plays a very important role in their personal life. Similarly, emotional maturity helps us to develop the ability to maintain composure and react appropriately to the unwanted or wanted situation in our life or in society. So, a person with good behavioral skill who believes in collaboration and teamwork can work on his and his family members' development by exchanging continuous feedback, by reinforcing and recognizing each other's strength and supporting one another. So my friends, behavioral skill, whatever we have, what we are developing in ourselves, is going to help us a lot in our personal life. Thank you.
Well, very well said, Sanjeev ji and your team, Nagesh ji and your team. And it was really a tug of war of competencies to know, from 75-25 principle to manufacturing competencies, the story of a movie and his personal life example, land matters, and everything revolving around competency has given a new dimension to it. And it will be really tough to understand which is better. And I like to call upon Bhanu sir to judge which teams have done better.
Hi guys, an excellent debate, and I have not seen such debate in long time. Tough topic, critical topic for us, and let's give a big round of applause to everyone sitting here. Really good job done. As Anand has said that I have to judge who is winning and who is not, very difficult. Why? Because I consider behavioral and functional competencies, or technical competencies for that matter, are two sides of one coin. If one is not there, I don't think you can sell that coin. Nobody is going to buy it. Both are important. Yes, to an extent, the way Gyan explained, that in the initial stage, Sanjeev also explained, in the initial stage, the domain expertise, the functional expertise is required more. And when you go ahead at a leadership role, behavioral is more. There are IC roles where only technical skills are required. There are few roles where only behavioral skills are required. It's a mix. It depends on the role, and that's the importance of it. But we had a good debate, and I think both the teams are winner. One more round of applause to everyone. Thank you. Enjoy the show.